guess it's time for the 100 sub special. Let's go. Well, the stuff I'm about to introduce to you is scuffed, so I gotta look equally scuffed. Okay, so, usually I and other reviewers would cover chi-fi, and hopefully find cheap products that are also good, bang for buck and all that. Well, what if I take the good part out, and just focus on the cheap part? Well, that's where Daiso comes in. Daiso is a chain of stores originating from Japan, which sell, 100 yen items. They are essentially your dollar stores, your pound lands, and all. Nowadays, they also sell stuff that ain't 100 yen, and it also happens to be audio gear. So as a bit of a joke, I went and grabbed some of them. Might as well turn it into content now, right? Minigood is somewhat similar in concept, but they don't have a set price. They just sell a bunch of products ranging from cheap to moderately expensive. They are mostly based in Asian countries as well, but they are probably a bit less ubiquitous than Daiso. But yeah, they had some audio stuff too, so sure, I picked it up. So we have these. Oops. So we have these 4 items. Let me just bring them out. And I'm just gonna spoil you early on, but these 3 are all bad. No, nothing else. They're just bad. These are probably the only actually good thing that I will have for you today. These are the Daiso earbud foams, which I got for like $2, give or take. Yeah, they look like generic earbud foams, but they are actually made of a slightly thicker material. This one makes it feel a bit softer on your ears, and since there's more material on the earbud foam, you are getting a bit more emphasis on the bass and less of mids and highs when using on your earbuds, which can act sort of like tip rolling for IEM. Unlike the earlier items I bought, I am buying these Daiso foams for a second time because it's actually decent quality foam buds. So if you do have a local Daiso, with regards to audio stuff, this is probably the only product out of what I have today that I can recommend you to actually buy. Well, starting out with the whole earphone and headphone shebang, we have these earphones that look like
these nuts.
donuts, that is. I paid like $3 for these. They come in this plastic packing with just like a cardboard insert inside, and below that we have basically a carrying case that looks like a donut. It says "Enjoy the best donuts" right here. So this case is pretty small. It's made of like hard but like cheap and hollow plastic. You can open it up like this. It's like 2 halves. You spin it out. It's not really a good carrying case, but hey, it looks like a donut. A donut that is gray with some chocolate frosting on it that doesn't cover the whole thing even, so there you go. I mean, unless this is like a Halloween item, sort of like the black burger bun that Burger King sells, you wouldn't want to eat a donut that is gray. But hey, you do you, right? You can wrap your donut earphones into the case like so, and just put it in. Yeah, like I said, this is not really a good carrying case, and it's a little too tight, and it often like juts out with the wires, but well, technically you can store it, sorta. And here we have the donut earphones. It's quite a cheapo plastic thing. You've got these housings, which are actually quite a standard shape. Of course, you have the chocolate glaze printing on it. Here's how I look wearing this thing. It is small, so goes into ears okay, but there is horrible driver flex every time I stick it in my ears. The microphone clump here is a standard shape with a button for play pause control, and the mic does work, but it's pretty bad. Here's a sound sample for that. This is a microphone sample from the Daiso donut earphones. This wire feels okay. It's not downright horrible, but it's not something I trust either, since it's just a flat wire. It's actually not that microphonic, though you would kind of wish it was, just to forget about the sound that this thing outputs. Now, the sound of these donuts. Well, if you got an earphone, stuck it inside an actual donut, and then slaver it onto your ears, yeah, that's kind of what this sounds like. You've got pretty much just boxy, bloaty, and hollow mids with no real detail or separation, a very slight hint of mid bass, and pretty much no treble. Like, this is some seriously horrendous sound. So the verdict for these donut phones: choking hazard out of 10. Okay, so next we're going up a bit in terms of price. I got these for about $5, and they are these foldable headphones. No, I did not break them. I'm not joking when I say I was in a Daiso. There are like 3 of these on the shelving, and all of the front plates have just popped off. So that got me thinking, what if these aren't a defect? What if these are actually hybrid open and closed back on ears, right? Think of it like this. When you want an open sound, you open these plates up and bam! But when you go into public or something, close the plates on for a closed back headphone. This concept was actually explored by a Kickstarter project from Rockjaw Audio. I'm gonna put the Kickstarter page, something like that, on screen here. Though, sadly, although it was funded, there seems to be no delivered products, so there goes that. But hey, who needs those guys when Daiso is gonna hook you up with hybrid open closed backs for $5? Alright, so these headphones are just put in your typical like cheap clear plastic box packaging in their folded state. So they have 2 hinges, one on each side, to fold out, and man, this is overly tight, and I feel like this won't last. And just look at the way this folds out. Oh, it's so unreliable, jeez. And then the other hinge is the top band, just to fold out on the headphone shape. It's a bit more solid, sort of, but it's as solid as this pile of plastic junk can be. There's also a swivel on the ear cups with some range, but still bad. The extension mechanism for this thing is you pinch this part, drag it out, and it goes about to this point. It doesn't feel good, but to be honest, it is somehow still better than the mechanism on the HiFiMan HE400 SE. What the hell, HiFiMan? The cable, it's cheap plastic. It's microphonic, doesn't feel good. What else do you expect from these, frankly? Then you have these ear pads. They feel like someone just wrapped a trash bag over some rough foam and just called it a day. Yuck. But even when fully folded out, these headphones are just too small. They don't really go over my head well, the standard headphone way. I mean, I know I have a bit of a Minecraft Steve head syndrome, but this thing's headband is just way too small. So I'm gonna be wearing it like a COS Sport Pro, which feels sufficient, but far from comfortable. So about that hybrid open-closed back Fury, yeah, nope. It's just broken. The damn thing is broken out of the box. Basically, these plates have some pins that you stick onto the cups, but because it doesn't stick well, they put a piece of two-sided tape on it, as you can see. And no, it did not affect the sound whether you left the plates on or off. It's just broken. Speaking of the sound, well, compared to the donuts, it is an improvement. Instead of ultra hollow mids with nothing else, this one has muddy mids and a little bit of treble energy. Emphasis on the little. On some songs it's enough, on others you're still gonna get an incredibly muddy sound. Bass is still anemic, although if you press the ear cups real close onto your ears, you can sort of get some decent rumble. Still no sense of impact though, and the bass quality is non-existent. The technical ability of this thing is just horrible. Almost no separation, let alone all the other metrics of detail, resolution, and all that. The verdict for these Daiso foldable headphones: neck rub out of 10. And finally, we have these clip-on type headphones I got from Minigood. These I got for another $2.50. These are designed with a bunny motif, and they say love on the left side for the extra cringe factor. Yeah. This was tied down with a ton of metal wire. I tried my best to wrap it up back like the packaging, but this is the best I can do. Okay, so the clip-ons have a bunny design, as you can see, and the texture of this plastic is slightly matte, sort of soft touch, but not really. It does feel nice to touch, surprisingly. The clip itself, though, it's just a piece of plastic, and it kind of digs into your skin whilst you wear it, but the entire thing is cheap, so it's light enough that I didn't feel much discomfort. The cable, it's a similarly flat one like that which came with the foldable headphones. Not too microphonic, but still it feels cheap. You indeed have a mic clump. It has one heart-shaped button for play pause function. Here's the audio sample from the mic. It sounds like $2.50, alright. This is a microphone sample from the Minigood Bunny Clip-on headphones. Well, with this kind of design, I dare you to look me in the eye and say, I don't look like an idiot. Alright, for the sound, these are actually not half bad. I'm quite surprised, actually. I guess Minigood is better for audio gear than Daiso. Well, let's not get too ahead of ourselves here. These clip-ons have an unimpressive sound. I am impressed that it didn't absolutely ruin anything completely, rather than it being good at any one thing. There's a significant bass roll-off due to the clip-on design. The mids are boxy, however are decently worn with acceptable detail. I am hearing some hotness in the upper mids, but out of the 3 travesties I've covered today, this is probably the most competent out of the bunch. That isn't to say it's good, far from it, but with a slight adjustment period, you can kinda live with the sound of this thing. Either that, or I've been testing these crap sets for so long that my ears have devolved down to their level. Let's hope that doesn't happen, for my sake and for your sake, because I do not want to retire this channel at 100 subs. The verdict for these bunny clip-ons, meh, it's whatever, out of 10. So, what have we learned today? I think the thing that I need to drill into your head after all of this is that please avoid buying audio stuff at thrift stores. They all suck. No matter how cheap the price may be, it's not worth it. And all you'll get is landfill plastic. I spent in total like $12 something on all of these things. And for that money, you can probably find the Moondrop Sparks, which is a great value IEM. It sounds so much better than these things. Failing that, you can get the alternative Fio Poppy for slightly cheaper and a warmer sound. You will get more out of these purchases than all of his Daiso Minigood stuff ever will. Alright, we've reached the end of another review, I guess. I hope you've enjoyed something that's a little different from the usual reviews that I do. This is basically our 100 subs special. And if you want to see more of this, actually, in the store, I saw some other things like True Wireless products that looked like Hello Kitty and like it had like a duck design or something. There's a lot of that coming, but of course you gotta donate to my Patreon. I need to recuperate the cost of buying this trash in for review, so yeah, the Patreon's there if you want to donate, if you want to. Or of course comment on the video if you want to see more of something like this, or if you have any suggestions and questions. Like the video if you like it, subscribe to see more of this content, and if nothing else, oh yeah, actually, there won't be a review next week because I'll be out of the house, but after that we should be returning to our normal review content as usual. But if nothing else, then thank you for watching. I hope to see you in the next video. This is Lumerion, signing off.